G'day guys and welcome back to the JFBS Supercoach channel. And today we're going to go through my Game Week 5 review. As you can see, I scored horribly. That's not bad because the rest of the competition also didn't score that well. Um, Somehow only went 2,000 spots in the Week 5 rank, but I'm more surprised that I went up 128 spots. So it's a really, excuse me, it's a really slow build and slow burn of a grind. Um, I'm top 10%. I hope that's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. I'm going to aim for top 5, hopefully soon. Let's just go through my team and how everyone went. Um, I watched 2 games in Game Week 5. Let's just scroll to it. I watched, what games did I watch? Uh, I watched Man U and I've watched the first half of Man U Chelsea. Actually, no, I watched, first half of Man United and Chelsea, and then I watched all of the Bournemouth, and Newcastle game. The one game, one of the 2 games I watched, no one scores, which is great. And then I watched actually no, I didn't watch that game, but yeah, how funny was it that Sanchez got a red card as a goalkeeper? That's just insane to me. But yeah, we'll have a look at the teams. Raya and Calafiori gave up 1 goal in the first 10 minutes to my boy Haaland. Bit disappointing, but they scored a 5 and 4. What else could you ask for that? It was a pretty horrible week for everyone. Sorry, I'm yawning. Senesi with a 14. Like I said, watched the Bournemouth game, and I forgot if he had any shots on target, but clean sheeted, no goals at all for the first 60 minutes. It gets defenders and goalkeepers high scores, which is really good. Now, I did my video last week, and I brought in a couple players, and I completely what's the word? I completely changed my plans. So I think originally I was supposed to bring in Agbadu and someone else. I forgot who I was supposed to be trading. Let me just have a quick look. Sorry, I had to take a little quick detour from that. The original 2 players I brought in was Agbadu, a defender from Wolves, and Pape Matar for Spurs. I'll just have a quick look Pape Matar. He didn't play at all, which was a bit annoying. I don't know why he didn't play. And then I didn't go with Badu just cause. Um, I was originally going to go with him, and then he scored a 9, which really kind of pissed me off because he's about 4 mil, about 3 or 4 mil cheaper than Romero, and he scored 3 more points, which doesn't really matter at the end of the day. But yeah, brought in Romero. I thought they'd have they were down 2-0 against Brighton, and then they came back. But oh god, it kind of pissed me off. Like looking at the scores, and I was like, oh, this is horrible. Um, I've already gone through all my defenders now. Defend only a 1 after his massive game yesterday. Now he's going to have this 1 in his system for 2 games. I'm not so worried about him losing money because of his easy schedule. Where's the schedule up here? Yeah, I'll just bring it here because the next 8, they're down here. Next 5, they're seconds. They've got Wolves and Leeds, which is good. What was I? Yeah, so he scored a 1. It's going to be in his system for 2 weeks, like I said. Unfortunately, if he scores a 9 and a 10, it'll go back down to 6. He'll lose 500k, but he's going to make another mil back on top of it, and be around 9.7 projected when he goes up against Everton. Ballard, I had him on the bench originally. Last time I checked on his injury status, he was due to play Aston Villa after a hamstring injury. Apparently, he did have. Okay, no, don't want to show me Ballard. Oh, they do. Originally, didn't trade him just because he still has his low break even, and I knew he was going to play against Aston Villa, so that was the reason for benching him. But I didn't know how many minutes he was going to play, and I still don't know how many minutes he played. He just wants to load. But while it's loading, I could probably talk about some other people. Oh no, it's here. Played 53 minutes and got a score of 6. Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, he's projected 10, which is really like unrealistic. But yeah, he's going to be my trade plans this week. Just a quick flip of $2 million difference. Grealish and Drewsbury Hall, I'll talk about them both. I didn't watch my Toffees play, unfortunately. I only watched the highlights, and knowing that they went up against Liverpool, they only lost by 1 goal. But you can't have both of them on. Like you can't have two guys up against like Liverpool or Arsenal where you know that they're going to score and have a really good defense. So I was like, well, I'm going to bite the bullet and go one of them on the bench. I went Drewsbury Hall, made the right decision with a 3. They play Burnley this week. No, not Burnley. They play another easy team. Not easy team, but they play West Ham. They play West Ham this week. Hopefully we do win. So I'll be probably fielding them both this week. Cullen, Burnley, they played. Oh my God, who did they play? I can't see. Oh, Forest. I mean, I can't really talk much about Cullen. I'm pretty sure I'm trading him in this week as well. Alex Scott was a new bloke that I brought in. He only played about 7 minutes. He made $1 million, which was really surprising. I was like I said, I watched the game. Didn't really think much about his game. I'll be honest. I kind of have soccer in the background, or like I just watch it, keep an eye out and ear out for names. But he could be a potential guy to trade next week. Just to flip some coin. Got him at around 5 mil. Could get rid of him at 7, which is not bad. And as well as like Drewsbury Hall next week, I'm thinking. Or even Rodri's a really slow grind of a player, isn't he? Yeah, had a 16 last week. 6. He's been getting around 3 or 6 in his like just under 70 minutes. He's made 1 point, like he's made $1 mil, 1.3 mil from here. So he's been starting games, just not finishing them, unfortunately. I wish he could play another 15 or so minutes. Could boost his score up to a couple more points. But yeah, I talked about Drewsbury Hall a bit. Didn't watch the game, so I can't really say much about it. Same with Rodri. I think it's just going to be a waste for me to trade him. I don't know how many minutes he plays. He probably does start. I think he does start. That's a dumb question. He does start. Um, so hard to predict what like. We just need one game. We need one game where he just like balls out, and maybe it's this week against Burnley, and maybe I change up my setup with the 3-3-4. Great, it's not going to load. That's fine. We'll move on to forwards. Haaland had his goal in the early game, had him at a 9, and then only had 2 afterwards. So, I mean, it's not disappointing, but it's like he could have done better. I think, and it could have gotten better. So, a bit disappointing there. Not disappointing, but like I'm happy that he gets a goal. Now, Pedro, he got a bit stitched up. I thought in the first half or the early in the second half, where I think it should have been a penalty for Chelsea, so that could have been a goal opportunity there. I mean, also the Sanchez thing that red carded himself in 5 minutes of play, had no goalkeeper for 30 seconds until they did a few swap outs. I think they did about 3, and Cole Palmer went off as well, which I thought was interesting. Which I could probably get to in a tick talking about players, considering he's really expensive. But yeah, disappointing. I don't think it. I wouldn't stress about it too much. They go against Brighton this week. I know they They levelled with Tottenham this week, but you know, with a full 11, they can reset and hopefully bounce back from a pretty disappointing game against Man U. And Salah, um, you probably knew with the preview beforehand of game week 5 is that I was going to go with Salah or try and loop. Senesi was the right bloody call, unfortunately. But now this week I can loop with Tyra playing the last game of the round at 5 a.m. Monday morning, my time. But yeah, he's lost 4.6 mil and he's projected to go down to as like another $1 million. So I shouldn't have started with it at first. I didn't know much about Supercoach at first as well. First off, I'll be honest, it really stuffed up after this one that he had. Like, he had a 15 and a 10. He was doing great. He had an 11 against Burnley. A 9 against Everton's passable for him. Like, I think a 9 is passable for anyone in this, or for forwards, in my opinion. Yeah, 1 against Arsenal, pretty disappointing. Um, but yeah, I'm still a bit questionable of what I want to do with him because I know in game week 6 as we move on, the captain's going to go on Haaland no matter what because they play Burnley. But to be fair, Burnley nearly levelled with Liverpool last week and had like and Salah, that was the only reason Salah scored an okay score, a good score last week is that penalty goal. And Burnley had 5 defenders. Could be the same with Haaland, but who knows what Burnley will do this week. But yeah, that was the team review. I haven't seen the rankings of for week 5. Who had the most points? If someone had over 170, that's just insane. Game week 5 points, 144. Oh my god. I mean, the Burnley defense. This is such a interesting team. I mean, this really the Gravenberch, Calabar. Oh yeah, because he scored a goal, and the captain on a Crystal Palace defender, Jokeres and Rogers and Paqueta really down in the points there. But 144 and 143. Lucky with the Dorgu save for Robinson. Wow, Ekatike, yep, he had a goal. He's actually done all right, Ekatike. But yeah, that's the best performance of the round. I will be making my video about the game week 6 preview on Friday. I just need to double check when games do because it's always I think Saturday night for us because it's their Saturday. They never play Friday, which is I find really interesting, like a Friday night. Come on, game week 6. Yes, Saturday at 9:30. So I'll publish my preview of game week 6 at on Friday. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Hopefully you did better than me. Yeah, and I'll see you guys next time. Cheers.